Mga kaliga, we are now live here at the Bacoor Strike Gymnasium para sa Game 1 ng ating South Division Finals. Ngayong gabi, our home team, the Bacoor City Strikers, will be facing our inaugural season champions, the Batangas City Mpbl. Sino nga bang makakauna? Kaya naman mga kaliga, kapit ng mahigpit, walang pipikit para sa laban na painit na ng painit. Ito po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
Bacoor is on its way to the South Division Finals for the first time in the history of their franchise. And the Batangas City Mpbl, our former champions, will be returning to the South Division Finals, and they will face the Bacoor City Strikers.
Gusto din namin ma-experience yung paano yung feeling na magpapasok ka sa finals, angat ka sa liga na to.
Siguro ito yung chance ulit namin na para makabalik kami sa national finals.
Hernandez, quick trigger. That's good. Rudy Linganay knocks it down.
Motivation needed for my players. It's fighting for survival.
Oh, Mpbl for three! Executing underneath. And Bacoor just making all the right plays here.
Hindi mo alam kung sino mag-champion. Ang nagmamatter na lang is sino yung pinakagustong-gusto.
From 29 teams to start the season in March, 16 teams entered the postseason. Now we are down to our last 4 squads. Pampanga and San Juan started the division finals in the North last weekend. Tonight, we are about to witness the battle of the best in the South. Maraming salamat sa pagdalo ulit sa ating coverage of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League 2023 playoffs. We are coming to you live from the Strike Gym in Bacoor City, the marching band capital of the Philippines, here in Cavite. Sed Ablaza, who just returned for Batangas City in Game 2 of the South Quarterfinals against Imos, averaging almost 11 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists, providing that added punch para sa kupunan ni Coach Cholo Villanueva. He will be going up against the living legend of the Mpbl, Mark E, who is looking to lead the Bacoor City Strikers to the national championship. Resurgent versus resilient. Batangas City Mpbl and the Bacoor City Strikers, yan ang maghaharap para sa ating South Division Finals. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, I hope you're all having a pleasurable evening. Good evening sa inyong lahat. Happy Palanya here, joined by Philippine basketball legend JV Gayoso. Coach, so happy to be working with you again.
Likewise, likewise.
Did you expect less? The number 1 and number 2 seeds respectively to end the regular season in the South, now battling out for the right to represent in the national
Well,
championship.
disappointment talaga yun, Javi, kung hindi sila ang nag-meet up dito sa finals ng South. And that's why we are both dressed to kill. Pero hindi naman tayo kasama sa action. That's due respect lang to these two teams.
Tama ka dyan. And because we are in the national championship, we have 4 members of our broadcast panel. Joining us to report on the Batangas side is Miss Mika Abisam. Miss Mika, how are you?
I'm really excited to cover one of the most versatile teams in the Mpbl. Batangas has surprised us several times, lalo na pagdating sa kanilang depensa. And so I think that the Bacoor home court might not just stop that.
Thank you so much, Mika. We'll be hearing her reports later on. And to report for the home squad, the Bacoor City Strikers, we have Miss Andrea Indicio. Andrea, what can we expect from you tonight?
First of all, good evening to you both and to my very beautiful partner at the sidelines, Mika, at syempre sa ating mga kaliga na nanonood ngayong gabi. Unlike Batangas, with Bacoor's very first South Division Finals appearance, talagang this Game 1 really means a lot to them. And so my reports will revolve around that, and you guys will be hearing more of that later on. But for now, balik muna sa inyo.
Tama ka dyan, Andrea. We're very excited to hear what Mika and Andrea have in store for us as this game progresses. Before we dive down into our previous game when these two teams met in the regular season, let's discuss our playoff bracket, the road to the playoffs para sa parehong koponan. Of course, as we mentioned earlier at the top of our coverage, Pampanga and San Juan already started their North Division Finals last weekend. And here, Batangas, they had to go through Imos, and then they went through itong Jensen Warriors in the semifinals. Now, the Bacoor City Strikers, they got a scare in the first round, Coach, when they went up against Iloilo, who won Game 1 against them, but they were able to go through the defending South Division champions in the Zamboanga Family Brand Sardines to earn the right to be here to face Batangas. All right, so now let's talk about one important member of this Batangas City Embassy, Levy Hernandez. He has really carried the torch para sa kanilang kupunan this season in the absence of Sed Ablasa, who we mentioned kakabalik pa lamang para dito sa Batangas City Embassy. Chill. His numbers here on your screens. Guys, Levy Hernandez has been sensational to say the least.
Napakaganda talaga ng kanyang ginagawa. And he's not forcing his shots, averaging 16 points in the previous game. No? Ang kagandahan doon, he contributes in more ways than one. And let's see what he can do tonight against this tough Bacoor team.
Well, naman sa kabilang panig, pag-usapan naman natin the revelation of the season. Might not be just for the Bacoor City team, but for the whole league. Jan Nermal, who last year was just an average player, just a role player para sa Bacolod, this season has been one of the top guns of Coach Alex Angeles.
Well, alam mo, Jan Nermal, this guy can be the franchise player of his team. Everybody can run around him because he contributes even more than asked of him. No, napakaganda ng kanyang ginagawa in this series, in the playoffs.
Well, averaging just 12.2 points per game in the regular season, up the ante in this playoffs to 22.5 points per game. What a performance for Jan Nermal. Let's see if he can carry over his very positive performance here sa ating South Division Finals. Now, let's talk about the last meeting of these two teams, Bacoor and Batangas. Before this, leading into this game, Bacoor had not won against the Batangas City Embassy Chill in all of the matchups in the history of the league. But in this matchup, Bacoor City was able to dominate the right away. First quarter pa lang, 9-0 run by the Strikers in the first 110 seconds of the game. And then they ended the first period 25-6. It was actually a tale of two teams exchanging dominant quarters in the first three periods before Bacoor City was able to hold on in the end for a 71-64 W.
Para sa akin, very noticeable yung defensive game ng Bacoor. They had 15 turnovers, caused 15 turnovers ng Batangas, and they had 24 points from those. Ito, makikita nga natin yung turnover situation. Very big, yung disparity nila, no? And they need to control the ball itong Batangas to win against Bacoor. Other stats that we will see, free throws situation 70-73% favoring Bacoor, bench points 55 points compared to 16 dito sa Bacoor. So everybody needs to help even more para sa Bacoor, but despite that, Bacoor still won against Batangas.
Just like in that matchup, do you foresee this, coach, to be a very defensive-oriented series?
Well, without a doubt, no, you can only win games with playing tough defense, and definitely yun ang pinaghandaan nila because both teams have great scorers. The only way you stop that is give them a hard time with your defense.
And just like the adage in basketball, defense wins championships. And now, we will hear from two of the brightest young minds in Philippine basketball. Mika Abisames is at courtside with Coach Cholo Villanueva and Coach Alex Angeles. Go ahead, Mika.
That's right. I'm with two of the biggest factors of this ball game, lalo na mentally. Coach Cholo, good evening. It's very rare that we see you smile on the court, but after that Jensen game, we did. Tonight, you're going to be faced with another tough opponent in the Bacoor City Strikers. How are you today?
Doing very well, prepared properly for a #1 team, so hopefully we'll win the game tonight.
Coach, ano naman ang gusto mo sabihin sa mga Batanggenyo na nanonood sa TV at sumusuporta sa Batangas Embassy Chill?
Maraming salamat po sa mga Batanggenyo na nanonood ngayon. Kakailanganin po namin lahat ng cheer nyo. So hopefully we win the game tonight dahil sa energy na ibibigay nyo sa amin.
Maraming salamat, Coach Cholo Villanueva. Coach Alex, good evening. Kayo po ang top 2 defensive teams. Ano? So ang gusto ko malaman ngayon, paano kayo nag-prepare in terms of your offense?
Well, kung makikita nyo naman yung offense namin, equal sharing. So kung sino yung mainit dun sa game na yun, dun kami pumupunta. So walang kumbaga talagang designated na ikaw ang score today. So walang gano'n. Kung sino lang yung mainit, dun lang.
At speaking of mainit, Coach, anong gusto niyo sabihin sa lahat ng fans na mainit na kayong gustong mapanood ngayong gabi dito sa loob ng Strike Gymnasium?
Well, sa atin lahat na taga Bacoor, hinihiling po namin ang inyong dasal na tulungan nyo kami sa game na to. Kung wala kayo, hindi namin kaya ito. In Jesus' name.
Maraming salamat, Coach Alex Angeles. It's gonna be Batangas versus Bacoor. Richard Tampos, let's go.
Begins here at the Strike Gym, the marching band capital of the Philippines, Bacoor City, Cavite. Welcome to Game 1 of the best of 3 South Division Finals between the Batangas City and your Bacoor Strikers. This is Manny Pacquiao's Mpbl Season 5 presented by Extreme. Let's meet now the starting lineups, beginning with the Mpbl inaugural season Anta Raha Cup champion, the Batangas City Embassy Chill.
Taga Batangas nga pala, Selwin na Chansa. Sana makapanood tayo ng magandang laban ng Bacoor at saka ng Batangas City.
At forward number 15, Don Ochea. Power forward number 20, Seth Ablaza. Point guard number 31, MJ De La Virgen. Playing center number 26, John Ambuluto. Starting at guard number 22, the sniper de Mexico, Levy Hernandez. Batangas City Embassy Chill is led by Cholo Villanueva. His assistants are J.R. Aquino, Warren Capitan, John Arenas, and Dino Enrile. Assistant Team Manager Gilbert Alea, Team Manager Gina Labanza, General Manager Jerry T, LGU Partner Batangas 5th District, Honorable Congressman Marby Marino, Team Owner Lucio Tan III. And now, strike first, strike fast, strike them all. Your Bacoor City Strikers. Philbet.com.
Kami po ang Tropang Sidiums, Molino 4. Strike as 1, go Bacoor!
Kami taga Paulo, Molino 1. Let's go Bacoor Strikers. Strike as 1.
Power forward number 3, the Iron Claw of Panapandos, Mike Cañete. Point guard number 9, Aaron Heruta. Two guard number 15, the quick James Fox, James Quickote. Starting at forward number 29, the elastic man, Jan Nermal. Playing center number 52, Pambarangay Mambog, Mark Yee. Bacoor Strikers head coach is Alex Angeles. His assistants are RB Mangahas, Chris Gavina, Jigs Guadamor, Marlo Corbin, the Skyscraper Marlo Aquino, Big Mac Andaya, and Royce Cuevas. Assistant team manager Lawrence San Jose. Coaching consultants are Cap PJ Aganus.
Your primary protagonists for this game, Levy Hernandez, MJ De La Virgen, John Ambuluto, Don Ochea, and Cedric Ablaza, representing the Batangas City Embassy Chill. Your home team, the Bacoor City Strikers, will be parading Aaron Heruta, James Quecote, Marky, Mike Cañete, and Jan Nermal.
Avi, medyo late ang dating ni Marky. Titignan natin kung talagang naka-warm up siya ng maigi because, you know, at his age, you need time talaga to really stretch those muscles out and get yourself prepared for a highly intensified game.
Yeah, that's right. He came into the court just maybe 10, 15 minutes into the warm-up. So let's see if Marky is ready enough to start this game. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is Game 1 of your South Division Finals between the Batangas City Embassy Chill and the Bacoor City Strikers, number 1 and number 2 to end the regular season. Right now, fighting for the right to represent their division in the national finals. Javi Balanya, Coach JV Gayoso, Ika Abesamis, and Andrea Endicio, your panel for tonight. And on the first possession, Bacoor City with a stop right away.
Immediately making sure na yung guys moving without the ball are prevented from scoring itong defense ng Bacoor.
A slight miscalculation on the defensive end para sa Batangas City rin as Michael Cañete was able to break free, just could not finish on the layup. Basichel now with a chance to put the first basket into the hole, but Levy Hernandez could not convert from the outside.
Well, I like that shot by Levy Hernandez, not waiting to be closed out by the defense. As soon as he gets that ball, he should take it like James Quecote.
James Quecote swishes it through for the first 3 points of game 1 here at the Strike Gym.
Well, this is where Levy Hernandez needs to understand. He cannot play one-sided basketball merely on offense. He has to play tough defense because James will always take that shot if you give him the space.
Aboluto working the two-man game there, could not finish after the roll. The Strikers with a chance to extend. Cañete gets it from Quecote. Mike could not kiss it off the glass, but there's going to be a foul on the rebounds play. It's going to go against Marquis.
You know, plays like that where Marquis was called, that's kind of questionable for me. But here we see this open shot. Easy basket for James Quecote.
It's really hard when you go under a guy who is a big-time scorer like James Quecote. Ablaza puts the ball on the deck, picks up his dribble. He needs a teammate. He finds John Ambuluto. Hernandez racing to the basketball. Levy Hernandez knocks it down.
Well, that's his favorite shot, catch and shoot. Once he gets that ball and he's got his feet in rhythm, he's going to take that shot. Percentages for him really are up there.
All three right now to start this ball game. Mark E from downtown overshoots it. Cañete saves it to the wrong man.
Great anticipation by De La Vergen.
Well, that's the reason why Coach Cholo Villanueva loves to have ito si MJ De La Vergen on his squad. It's not just because of the offense, but also because he plays the other side of the ball. This three-point shot by Levy Hernandez is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances.
Picture-perfect jump shot there from the three for Levy Hernandez. Seen that so many years covering games here at the Mpbl.
Here he is once again. Quecote had his hand up, but a little bit delayed on the challenge, and Levy Hernandez made sure to make him pay. 6 points now in the game.
Well, I know that type of a player who can shoot at will anytime he wants. Given that, based on my experience, don't make him receive that ball.
And Batangas City gets another stop, plus a call against Michael Cañete. That's already the third team foul of the Strikers here in the first quarter, and we barely got into 3 minutes sa ating first period.
Well, there we see the experience. Levy Hernandez, after making the shot, just intimidating itong the younger James Quecote.
Ablaza tried to bullet a pass inside to Hernandez, who has been scorching to start this game. Levy Hernandez, like we talked about at the top of our coverage, 13.1 points per ball game this season. Meanwhile, we take this opportunity to turn it over to Ms. Mika Abesamis for her first report. Go ahead, Mika.
As we are faced with two of the top defensive teams tonight, Coach Cholo Villanueva feels like he is actually looking at the mirror. Imagine how hard it is to go against a team with a similar forte. So obviously, whoever will come out better offensively might just make it today, like that shot from Bacoor. During practice, Coach Cholo focused on cleaning their offensive execution, including the little things that they are not satisfied about, mga extra passes, spacing. Especially, he wants to utilize his more experienced backcourt than Bacoor with De La Vergen, Linganay, and Isit. He is also adjusting with the presence of Sed Ablaza, sabi mo nga, Javi. Yes, they have been together for so long, but he has slowly needs to go back to the rhythm. Pero mamaya na yan, excited din talaga siya makatapat si Coach Alex dahil kasama daw niya yan sa PBL dati. Sana alam pa yan ng mga nanonood, kung hindi kami na lang ni Coach James na mag-uusap. Javi, Coach James.
Thank you so much, Mika. Well, I did still watch the two of them play during their PBL days. Coach Cholo was a player for Toyota Otis and Coach Alex Angeles was representing San Beda back then. And it's very refreshing to see them on opposite sides of the sideline now coaching their own respective teams. Now, Coach, let's talk about the keys to victory. Unahin na natin dyan ang Batangas City Embassy Chill.
Well, dito para sa Batangas, ORCR. Offensive rebounding is a talent. Batangas is great at taking calculated risks, CR, calculated risks, on their shots off broken plays. Pagtira, everyone in Batangas goes beast mode on the offensive rebounding. Keep it up. That's your asset. Pangalawa, bola-bola. Protect that ball. You've had 15 turnovers against this team last time around, and they scored 24 points off of those turnovers. Bola-bola. Keep that ball. Protect that ball. Finally, million peso smile. I was amazed to see Coach Cholo smiling in their last game. Actually, nakakatakot tignan kasi bihira kong makitang ngumingiti. But that was brought about by great basketball displayed by his team on both ends of the floor. Tignan natin kung ngingiti na naman si Coach Cholo at bibigyan niya tayo ng 1 million peso smile.
Well, by the looks of it here in our early goings, it looks like Batangas City will most likely produce a smile from Coach Cholo at the end of this game with the way they've been playing. John Amboluto, though, commits an offensive foul on that possession, but they're up 10-6.
Well, great intimidating defense there. That's why Amboluto was forced to ward off the defensive man. But Kwekotay again!
He has been scorching hot. The temperature inside doesn't match the hot shooting of James Kwekotay, who is up there in terms of putting the ball in the hole. 3 3-pointers right now. All of the 9 points of the Bacoor City Strikers belonging to him.
Napakaganda tignan, pero hindi rin natin maririnig yung sigaw ng magulang niya, nanay niya, nasa Canada.
That's the first miss in the ball game for Kwekotay. The tap goes to Nermal. Hits the back iron. Markey produces another possession here for the guys in gray. Peruta will try his luck. In and out. Loose ball to the living legend of the Mpbl, Markey for 2.
Taking his time, finding space, making that turnaround one-handed shot. Markey, forever tried and tested.
And now Bacoor City is in the lead, 11-10. Ablaza being pressured by Yi. Hernandez tries to go down low to Amboluto. Ball is tapped out of bounds. It's going to be a baseline inbound here for Batangas.
Great adjustment there by Coach Alex, putting Nermal now on Levy Hernandez, but James Kwekotay all net with that shot.
So what about two of the top hitters of these two squads really putting it on the board to start? James Kwekotay and Levy Hernandez. That's going to be a 24-second violation against the Embassy Chill.
Great defense there, but more on less communication on the part of Batangas because nobody mentioned to each other the time remaining on that clock.
2 straight successful stops here for the Strikers. Let's see if they can extend this solitary point lead. More than halfway through our opening frame. Nermal gets the handoff. Aggressive drive to the basket in the finger roll for 2.
All it took was one dribble for John Nermal to get airborne, finding that path to the basket.
Ochea being defended here by James Kwekotay.
Oh, great hand.
James completes the steal, and that's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul against Don Ochea. A very costly mistake after turning the ball over.
You know, Ochea really has the quickness to chase this down, but he opted to foul. Here we see the steal. And he grabs the leg.
Well, he had the idea of trying to stop an easy fast break, but he did not go for the ball. Kwekotay takes care of business on the first free throw. That's already 10 points in the game para dito kay James Kwekotay. He was questioned early in the season, coach, for not being able to perform against the Titans of the Mpbl. But here in game 1, early on, he's been proving to everybody that you're wrong, I can be a big-time player too.
Well, talaga matchups talaga are difficult to play against James Kwekute. He can shoot from the outside, he can penetrate, but in the previous series that their teams played, he opted to make passes to the people who had advantages in his team. There you see one dribble to the basket for John Normal.
John Normal, the only other scorer para dito sa Bacoor City Strikers along with Marky, but all the other points have come from James Kwekute. First time out of the game called on the floor. 15-10 is the score. Coach Alex Angeles, as the Bacoor coach, was able to get the best record in the South Division this year and has led them to their first division finals.
Thank you for letting me know. Now, pwede ko na siyang kulitin. Papakain ka, Coach Alex.
All right. More on Coach Alex Angeles from Miss Andrea Andicio.
Hindi mawawala ang Bible verse for tonight's game ni Coach Alex Angeles. So John chapter 5 verse 7, if you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. Naniniwala silang kahit anong effort at paghihirap ang gawin nila, if God is not their core, they won't be able to achieve what they want. Kaya naman ang paghahanda ng Bacoor para sa laban na ito, hindi lamang mas mahigpit na ensayo, mas mahigpit na pagkapit at tiwala rin sa Diyos. They have been having Bible studies every week with Pastor Ferdinand at kanina nga, Marky even had an individual pray over courtesy of Pastor Larry. Indeed, the Strikers believe that with God, nothing is impossible. Back to you guys.
Indeed, and I'm sure Coach JV, you totally agree with that.
Tama ka dun. Thank you, Andrea, for allowing the fans watching in the Mpbl that basketball, the sport, sabi nga nila, basketball is life, pero si God talaga ang sentro ng paglalaro ng lahat ng basketball player. Thank you for pointing that out, and I'm pretty sure Batangas as well has some form of presence ni Lord sa kanilang pagsasama.
Thank you so much, Andre Andicia, for that report. Galing sa side ng Bacoor City Strikers. The score is 15-12 here. 3 minutes and change remaining in the first quarter. Rudy Lingana at Jexter Apinan pumasok na dito para kay Coach Cholo Villanueva. So did Ivan Ludovice for the Strikers. Jexter up against Nermal at the post. Spins to his strong side. That shot is swatted away by John Nermal.
Well, the nice thing about that is John Nermal is showing his ability to play defense both with the left and the right hand. And this time he blocks with the right. Pero in previous games, pati yung kaliwa niya, nakakapag-challenge ng tira.
That time, Apinan was able to get a shot off. However, it was short due also to the presence of John Nermal. The Strikers with a chance to extend this three-point lead. Nermal trying to break down the Rafi Octubre. What about the confidence of this guy this season in shooting the ball from the outside, Coach JB?
Mukhang hindi pa siya natutulog since the first series they entered dito sa playoffs. Wala pang tulog yan, dala-dala niya. At hindi pa naliligo siguro yan, dala-dala pa rin niya ang mga buenas niyang because he's been playing great basketball, and here we see running. And I jinxed it.
Errant pass by Ludovice, but they get the ball back. Kwekute, the stretch. No roll on the basket. Another offensive rebound. Jamo Egilos keeps it alive. There's going to be a foul. It's going to go against Cedric Ablaza.
Napakaganda tignan, Javi, yung gigil ng mga players dito. Ang gigil na sa tamang lugar, hindi nakakasira ng laro. Here we see that way outshot.
Coach, it's not even just the outside shot, but it's also the confidence in actually breaking down his man via dribble moves. He did not have that all of last year.
Tama ka dyan. That's where we see improvement. Give no choice, but you have to improve every single time because teams are getting better. You just have to build your arsenal.
Talk about improvement. Here he is once again. John Nermal throwing a foul from the outside. And there's some disagreement on that last call made. Jake Sarapinan is saying that it should have been a flop.
Well, here we see the situation, and let's decide, Javi. Oh, yeah, the feet actually had contact.
Even Coach Cholo Villanueva is in utter disbelief. They're trying to sort this out, but it looks like no challenge will be made.
I didn't see John Ermal kick as Coach Cholo was motioning. No, it looked like more of an extension of the leg, based on the type of shot he made or attempted, at least.
Oh, they're checking if it's going to be a three-point shot. So it's just going to be a two free throw trip to the line here para kay John Ermal. There was a warning given to Chito Jaime and Rafi Octubre. There you see Sir Dennis Abella and Mayor Strike Revilla in attendance.
As expected naman, yung warnings na ibinigay ng mga referees, talagang kailangan i-control yung action away from the ball.
20-12, the lead is now 8 after those Nermal free throws. Batangas has been scoreless the past few possessions. Valoria gets the handoff. Liu defending. Mark Cruz gets into Rudy Lingana. Got away with a walk. Lingana kicks it out. Cruz for 3. Yes, sir! And another player down on the floor. This time, it's a striker. Joel Liu was knocked off after that shot attempt by Mark Cruz, which will count. Let's look at that sequence again, Coach.
Mukhang si Jong Valoria ang matatawagan ng foul dito, throwing Liu out of his way.
And because Batangas is already in the penalty, this will mean 2 free throws para kay Joel Liu.
Alam mo, mababanggit ko yan mamaya sa keys to the game for Batangas, itong nangyari earlier, no? Between Jong Valoria and Liu, because it's just amazing how Batangas plays the offensive boards. They use that as an asset that they have.
Batangas, one of the top offensive rebounding teams this season, along with the Bacoor City Strikers. And we've seen numerous offensive rebounds already to start the game para sa kupunan ng Bacoor. Rainiel Viloria will make his first appearance in our division finals here for the Strikers.
You know, ito si Valoria has been playing great for Bacoor, coming off the bench, playing tough defense. He has great anticipation on the ball and oftentimes helps get that ball back.
Valoria working against Joel Liu. A little bit too strong on that fadeaway jumper.
Nice to see Valoria make an attempt.
Ludovice, top of the circle, 3. Swishes it through.
Alam mo, sometimes having sa sobrang bilis mo at bumaba sa transition defense, naiiwan yung tao sa ilabas. Ludovice just stepping into that shot. But Rocky Octubre just almost hitting that shot.
He could not answer, but the Strikers already 5 3-pointers here in the opening frame, Coach JV. Ludovice turns the ball over. He was asking for a push, but no call was made. As you could see, once again, the 3-point numbers para sa parehong koponan. 3 out of 6 for the Embassy Chill.
5 of 11 naman para sa Bacoor.
There was that last outside shot made by Ivan Ludovice. Ludovice, one of the players who came over to this Bacoor City franchise from Bacolod last year, along with guys like Joel Liu, Mark Yee,
John Ermal.
Those guys have really been pivotal in the cause of the Strikers to reach the division finals this year.
Yun actually ang masasabi mong nakabuo ng jigsaw puzzle dito sa team ng Bacoor Strikers. Napakaganda yung union ng mga players na ito.
And also add to that mix, Aaron Heruta was also part of those roster players who made the transfer this season. Apinan, 0 out of 2 on that trip to the line. Mark Cruz, however, grabs the offensive rebound. Lost shot time perhaps here in the first quarter para sa Batangas City. 5 on the shot clock. Cruz, does he know it? Linganay needs to hoist it up, and he bails them out. That's the first basket in a long while here for the Embassy Chill.
At the last second of that,
Ludovice, can he go 2 straight? Yes, he does! Ivan Ludovice getting three-pointer number 2 to beat the buzzer here in the first quarter.
Teka lang, Javi, papakuha ko ng oxygen. Medyo nasasak ako sa mga binabatong tres na mga players dito ngayon.
I mean, the playoffs have been one heck of a blockbuster showing from all of the teams that entered. But tonight, Coach, we're experiencing a different atmosphere by Batangas and Bacoor.
Tignan mo naman yung tirang yun, seconds to go. Ito naman, binawian agad ni Ivan Ludovice. Wow.
Clearly, that will count. Back-to-back hits from both squads, but not bigger than that buzzer beater by Ivan Ludovice with Mark Cruz draped all over him.
Well, that's a booster in its own. Talagang napakagandang pumasok sa second quarter with that last shot made by Ivan Ludovice.
27-18, the score after the first 10 minutes. We'll be back for the second quarter. Halfway through our opening frame. Mpbl gets the handoff. Aggressive drive to the basket and the finger roll for 2.
This move of the game is brought to you by Nexus 88 Gaming.
Let's take a look at our player matchup for Game 1 of your South Division Finals. We have featured in this matchup John Baloria and James Kwekute. Coach, what did you say about these two players?
Well, halos pareho lang. Yung itsura lang ng mukha nila ang nagkakaiba, but their stats are basically the same. Pero we need to point out, John Baloria did not play in their last game. Injured. It's nice to see him back. So wearing the jersey and playing for his team once again.
James Kwekute, 11 points already in this game para sa Bacoor City Strikers. But you were talking about John Baloria first. Before he was sidelined in Game 3 of that series against Jinsan, he was playing spectacular basketball. The degree of difficulty of the shots that he was taking and making were just out of his world.
Tama ka dun. I'll point that out later on. First field goal, 40% for Batangas, 42% naman para sa Bacoor. I'll point that out later on how deadly John Baloria is and his cast of 3.
3-point field goals in the first quarter, 4 out of 7 for Batangas City, and Bacoor was able to get 50%, 6 out of 12. So 10 3-pointers between these two squads, and we still have 3 quarters left to play.
Great box out there by Jamo Egilos. Alam mo, nahihirapan ngayon makapag second chance opportunities itong Batangas. And that's what got them to win in their previous game coming into this finals. Just dominating on the boards of offense.
Turnover for the Strikers, but they get the ball back. Another instance here in the second quarter happened in the first period. Ludovice, this time from the corner. Ivan Ludovice could not make it 3 in a row.
Wow, in and out. A great ball rotation there from Bacoor. Unselfish play, very tough to defend.
Kapinan hands it off to Linganay. It looks like it's gonna be an illegal pick. Laban dito kay Jexter Apinan. And that's going to be the second foul already on Apinan.
I'd like to see that again if he extended his backside. Yes, he kind of did.
There was that left side, yung shoulder niya, parang gumalaw pa, hinabol niya.
Oo nga.
Ito si Ivan Ludovice. Now, Coach, we talked about the keys to victory for the Embassy Chill earlier in the first quarter. Now, talk to us about the keys to winning for the Bacoor City Strikers.
Well, unang-una, baby steps. Ito nga pinag-usapan namin ni Coach Alex because he's also from Laguna. One possession at a time, and they're gonna put so much value on every possession. They want to score every time they have that ball. Second, seal the cracks, mend the fence, because in their previous game, despite playing tough team defense, nakakalusot pa rin ang mga players ng Zamboanga, nakakapag-layup pa. So they need to really seal the cracks, mend the fence, put a more gallant effort on your defense. Ingat sa abo. Ito ang sinasabi natin. Just when you think you're playing tough defense, ingat sa abo. Apinan, Baloria, Octubre, because these guys can shoot the three anytime when you're not expecting.
Thank you so much, Coach JV, for a very creative keys to victory for the two squads playing it out here in our Southern Division Finals. Mamaya malalaman natin kung anong update sa mga linaan ni Coach JV para sa parehong kupunan on their way to a possible victory here in Game 1. 29-18 the score so far. Hernandez could not put those 2 points off the glass.
Just for the effort alone, I should give them 1 point. But that was a great move for Levy Hernandez.
Leo may tangan ng bola para dito sa Bacoor. Baloria went under the screen. Leo could not hit from beyond the arc. Rudy Linganay skips a pass. Jong Baloria with a hand in his face. That's way off the mark. Ludovice ahead to Joel Liu. Tough angle to work with. Gets the bounce on the 2 points.
I don't know how Liu made that shot, but due to persistence and just total aggressiveness, desire to want to score, he is gifted with a basket.
Lead is 13 now para dito sa Bacoor City. Ablaza, who has not made an impact yet in this game, drops it off. Apinan misses. Ablaza offensive rebound. Baloria with a third serving doesn't go as well.
Well, great dominance on the defensive end by Bacoor. No second chance opportunities, made basket. Pero nandun pa rin talaga ang beast mode ng Batangas to get offensive rebounds.
Again, we are witnessing the top 2 defensive teams of the league. Bacoor finished the regular season as the #1 defensive team. Come the playoffs, Batangas City was able to go ahead and finish with the top seed in that department. But now, Coach, they're also showcasing their offensive firepower, extending their lead to 15 points.
Ayun nga, nabanggit nga natin when we were covering in the previous playoff games, Chito Jaime penetrating and creating, but parang chameleon nga ito, nag-a-adjust itong team ng Bacoor. Binabasa nila ang sitwasyon, wala yung outside shot, ipasok natin sa big man, Jamo Egilos with the finish.
The depth of the Bacoor City Strikers and full display so far here in the first 2 quarters. Timeout uli para kay Coach Cholo Villanueva. Magbabalik ang Mpbl.
Sa lahat ng mga kababayan ko ng mga Bacooreño, isa ang inyong Bacoor City Strikers sa mga kupunan na lumalaban sa South Division Finals. Salamat po sa inyong pagsuporta sa kanila, lalong-lalo na kapag sila ay lumalaban sa Strike Gym. Patuloy niyo po lang tangkilikin at suportahan ang Mpbl Liga ng bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Quick, JC Marcelino, block by Normal!
So, pero para kay Sir Dennis, being here in the South Division Finals, malayo na rin daw ang narating nila sa ligang ito. Pangalawa ay paalala na nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa. He wants to see effort as if this is the do or die game. And above all, the heart of a true champion. Be aggressive, be physical, but not dirty. Lastly is motivation. They acknowledge the fact na inaugural champions itong Batangas. Kaya sabi nga ni Coach Alex, if we want to be the champions, we have to best another champion. Happy and Coach JV?
Thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you, Andrea.
I'm sure Coach Alex Angles is very wary that Coach Cholo Villanueva also wants to leave a legacy here dito sa Batangas City franchise, them being the inaugural champions dito sa ating liga. But of course, that was a different team. And Coach Cholo has had numerous heartbreaks in the playoffs. He wants to be able to finally get a chip.
Tama ka dun, and that's the reason why Million Peso smile talaga nung nakita ko in their last game to enter the finals. Pero ang ganda ng pinoint out ni Andrea is itong management and coaching staff ng Bacoor is covering all bases talagang from offense to defense. Napakaganda because you want to make sure everything goes perfect.
Back-to-back hits galing kay Seda Blaza and Jong Valoria para sa Batangas City Embassy Chill that prompts Coach Alex Angles to burn one of his ceasefires here with 5:57 left in the first half. The score is 33-22.
Bacoor, pinapanood ko sila before. Tsaka si Coach Alex, kilala ko yun eh. Kaya maayos na yung team niya, maayos na coach. Sistemato sila. Siguro yung darating na tong game na to, magiging ano eh. Sino yung as a team maglaro, yun yung mananalo. Hindi to sa talent eh. As a team na to.
That was Cedric Ablaza. The biggest takeaway from what he said, Coach, is the winner of this series will be the team that plays as a team. It's not about the talent, it's not about the depth, but who will play wholly as a squad, 100%.
Tama ka doon, and he even pointed out, may sistema rin talaga itong Bacoor. So both teams rely on a system that's flexible, and it's very tough to beat a team with experience and willing to follow the system.
Oh, that's why this has been the perfect ending to a battle of teams in the South Division, because these are two of the top teams to end the regular season at the top of the South Division poll. And also, they're being headed by two of the brightest young minds in Philippine basketball, in Coach Cholo Villanueva and Coach Alex Angeles.
And the great thing about these two coaches is that they created the team with stars, but I just erased that star mentality and just brought everybody together to play together.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that it's so difficult to erase the egos of players who are used to having that star complex and finally making them buy into a system. Just like that guy, James Quecote, who was such a blockbuster player in the NCAA when he was representing San Beda University. And he had a hard time adjusting to the system that Coach Alex Angles wanted to implement here dito para sa Strikers.
Well, kagandaan sa ugali nga niya, he did make those adjustments. Then he realized how effective he became, because once he gets everybody involved and plays with his teammates, he becomes a total weapon for the team.
At ngayon, napapadali na yung trabaho niya. He now understands that if I play within the system, if I play with my teammates, I am ready to perform my role to the hilt.
The only worry that he has to focus on, only concern, is just play defense, and everything will fall for him on offense.
He now has 14 points, and the Bacoor City Strikers have a chance to extend the lead. after Batangas City was able to cut it down to 15. A run by the Strikers extending it back up to this much of an advantage.
Great block there by Apinan. Just timing it really well.
One of the league leaders in shot blocks this season, Jexter Apinan, has really been a key piece of any team that Coach Cholo Villanueva has coached mula sa Makati hanggang dito sa Batangas. 5 on the shot clock for the Strikers. Kwekotey bails them out once again. 6 points here in the second quarter for James Kwekotey after scoring 11 in the opening frame.
What an immense, amazing offensive game. 9 of 19 na para sa Bacoor, 4 of 9 naman para sa Batangas. It seems that everybody who's launching from the outside the 3 from Bacoor is just hitting those shots.
42-24. This is the biggest lead of the ball game for the Strikers. Abaluto flashes to the middle. The drop step covered perfectly by Marquis, but that's just better offense galing dito kay John Abaluto.
Well, mama na talaga itong si Mpbl, not intimidated, just using his strength. He knows and needs to be composed, and that's what he does well, itong si John Mpbl.
Oh, this is also a guy who has improved immensely this season. Ito si John Mpbl.
Maybe the hair. I'm gonna have my hair dyed like that. I just need to grow it a bit more.
Did you ever dye your hair in that color? Even during your playing days?
Well, at my age, there's always a first time.
But it's not the first time we're seeing a booming triple from Aaron Heruta, who once again pushes this lead up to 19 points. De La Virgen had to pass it at the last moment. Ablaza, a little shuffle with the feet, no travel was called, but he was able to knock it down from the outside for the 7th point of the game.
Well, Cañete was pointing to his feet na lumampas sa tres. Ablaza just steps back and hits the 3. Bad defense there by Cañete, and his coach was telling him, come closer.
Ablaza has been one of the big-time scorers of the league. Kwekotey trying to establish himself as just that as well. First miss here in the second quarter. De La Virgen all the way, sucks in the defense, but the pass stolen. Nermal completes the steal. John Nermal inside scoop. The tap from Cañete is no good.
Missed the timing there by Cañete. Could have had an easy putback.
Valoria, slight hesitation. Wild shot. Marquis secures possession.
Gets everybody to settle down. Marquis with experience, no need to run and ruin the opportunity to score on the offense.
Heruta, elegant shot right there, reminiscent of Don Ramon. 47-29, Heruta with 5 points in this game.
Later on, they'll probably show Heruta's shot, no? But makikita mo, umaabang na ang Batangas for a drop pass. Everybody's afraid to help out on defense, leaving Heruta easy lane to the basket.
What has been the biggest problem on defense para dito sa Batangas City Embassy Chill? It seems that everybody from the Strikers have been able to contribute.
Everyone talaga, so you don't know who's gonna score on the offense. Once again, James going strong to the basket.
James Kwekotey almost about to eclipse the 20-point mark. He has 19 here in this game under a minute to go. The biggest lead of the ball game para dito sa Bacoor City.
Well, ang Bacoor team right now, you don't know who's gonna score on offense. Very unpredictable type of a basketball team. Great asset that they have in their lineup, and they've got a lot of guys from the bench who can equally score.
Conversely, on the other side, it's been a struggle day and night para dito sa Batangas City Embassy Chill. Hernandez trying to stick like a leech to James Kwekotey. Cañete, another offensive rebound for the Strikers. Forced up a bad one was John Ambaluto. Yi, push shot, that finally goes in.
I think we're watching a magic show, Javi, because right now, that ball keeps coming back to Bacoor and just enters that ring with so much ease.
Well, not just one magician alone. This is a team of magicians we're seeing here really put on a magical performance. Look at that. Mark Yi getting his team to 51 points. The rebounding battle has really been dominated by the Bacoor City Strikers.
Well, Mark Yee was planning to make a pass to a teammate because he had no shot, but everybody just left him alone. Once he faced the basket, all he had to do was elevate and extend that one arm for the shot.
The Strikers are a +10 in the rebounding department, 26-16. Some tactical substitutions made by Coach Alex Angeles. 3.9 seconds remaining here in the second. Ablaza receives. Reyes gives up the foul. That's only going to be the 13th foul, so one last foul to give para dito sa Bacoor.
Smart foul there by Reyes, preventing Cedric Ablaza from making an attempt on his first dribble. Foul came. Scoring this quarter, 11 for Batangas, 24 for Bacoor.
Ablaza didn't look like he got it off in time, and that is going to be it for the first 20 minutes of action. After a close encounter in the first few minutes of the first period, we're now seeing a dominating performance from the home team, the Bacoor City Strikers.
Well, napakaganda. James Cuercote, 19 points, 5 of 8 from the 3, 2 steals, playing tough defense, great intimidation, great presence on the court, and just trying to rip that net apart.
And he also is definitely feeding off from the great energy that this crowd is giving him, helping his team to this 51-29 lead after the first half. Now let's take a look at the recap of that Pampanga versus San Juan Game 1 last weekend.
Hello again, Mpbl fans, and welcome back to Mpbl Recap with me, Mix Gomez, and Coach Mike Perez to wrap up Game number 1 in the North Division Finals between Pampanga and San Juan. Pampanga able to escape here on their home floor. And so I'd like to get your thoughts, Coach Mike, about Game number 1.
Well, I feel yung first quarter na yun was really crucial para dito sa game. It's actually both for Pampanga and San Juan because yung slow start na yun, it was what, 12-2 in the first 5 minutes in favor of Pampanga. Eventually, nag-run lang itong San Juan on the latter 5 minutes, and so they were able to come back and make that return and keeping it close. Like what I said, they really just ran out of time. Players actually elevated up their game, getting 42 bench points, which is very crucial. Yan ang Waterloo ng San Juan. But right now, they really just ran out of time.
Well, Balti-Baltas are dominated with yet another 2020 performance here in the MPBL 5th season. But it was JB Bahia who was crowned as our best player of the game with a dominant double-double of his own. Question is, can they do the same thing as the series travels into the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center? Game 2 will happen this coming Tuesday in San Juan.
We are witnessing the top 2 defensive teams of the league. Bacoor finished the regular season as the #1 defensive team.
This assist of the game is brought to you by Nexus 88 Gaming.
kababayan ko ng mga Bacooreño, isa ang inyong Bacoor City Strikers sa mga kupunan na lumalaban sa South Division Finals. Salamat po sa inyong pagsuporta sa kanila, lalong-lalo na kapag sila ay lumalaban sa Strike Gym. Patuloy niyo po lang tagtilikin at suportahan ang Mpbl Liga ng bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Quick, JC Marcelino, block by Normal!
Welcome back to the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League South Division Finals Game 1, where the Batangas City Embassy Chill find themselves down by 22 points against the home squad, the Bacoor City Strikers, 51-29. What have been the biggest problem so far for Coach Solo Villanueva and company, Coach JB, as you look at the numbers?
Well, makikita natin yung 3-point shooting, 7 of 15. Napakataas nun, no? And then 2 points yun, 10 of 23, making 10. That's 30 points right away. And then their offensive rebounding, 10. It's just that the second chance opportunities as well that they get. But it was really a magical night sa umpisa na tong game na to. Everybody just hitting the middle of that ring dito sa first half para sa Bacoor. So let's see if they can continue this kind of shooting, because it's not gonna be nice if they do para sa Batangas.
So the question right now for the Strikers is sustainability in the third and fourth quarters. Can the law of averages actually also keep up with this Batangas City Embassy Chill as they try to find the bottom of the net? Cedric Ablaza and company have really been struggling on both sides of the floor.
Tama ka doon. And two things I want to point out, no, for Batangas. One, they relied on their second unit to play against itong Bacoor. 55 points in their last game together against each other. Before I continue, ito, Ablaza with 7, Hernandez with 6, Apinan with 4, Linganay with 3. Another factor that's struggling para sa Batangas is fast break points. Before I continue that, Bacoor naman, Kwekute with 19, Ludovic with 9, Nermal 7, and Heruta with 5. So as I continue, no, ang Batangas, the struggle was they rely a lot on the fast breaks, but you can't run the ball if the shots of Bacoor are entering. So imagine if less, sabihin mo na 5 less dun sa 3-point attempts tinatakbo. Bakit? Because every time Batangas gets that defensive rebound, they run for a fast break. But this time, in the previous last couple of minutes, hindi talaga sila nakatakbo dahil pumapasok ang tira ng Bacoor.
The problem is, Coach, they're not even able to secure the defensive rebound. Bacoor has been getting a lot of offensive rebounds and producing 13 second chance points in the process. So even if a stop is made, it's not being able to complete by the Batangas City squad.
Tama ka doon, and that's the reason why second chance opportunities. But everybody's trying to rotate. Kim Importante is in the ball game, one of those heroic players. Heroic in a good sense, not selfish, but he just works hard and tries to help his team.
The same set of starters for both squads. Importante is joined on the floor by Ablaza, De La Virgen, Ochea, and Levy Hernandez, while the Bacoor City Strikers will also go with the same starting unit that they had to start this ball game in Heruta, Mike Cañete, Marky, James Kwekute, and John Nermal. Let's see what adjustments Coach Cholo has made here, especially on the defensive front.
Well, now he's got a tougher defensive guy guarding James Kwekute in Ochea. First miss there by Bacoor.
Also a successful stop to begin. De La Virgen from way out, and that has been one of his strengths. Not just hitting the outside shot, but hitting it from feet away from that three-point line.
Oo nga, and nobody expected him to shoot, especially the Bacoor defense, kaya pinabayaan siya. He found himself free. Ito si De La Virgen makes the attempt and hits it.
De La Virgen is the top three-point shooter this season para sa Batangas City Embassy Chill at 33.3%. John Nermal, meanwhile, is the top scorer of the season for the Bacoor City Strikers. That was almost another 3 galing kay John Nermal.
Well, sinabi nga natin kung kaya nila ituloy itong Bacoor dun sa outside shooting nila. Second possession yun ng Bacoor, 2 3-point shots attempted and weren't made. They don't need a 3-point shot at Bacoor. They only need to score in every possession, whether it's 1 or 2 points.
So far, Batangas City has been the only team
to put a basket inside the hoop here in the third quarter. John Nermal now with a rock. Heruta directing traffic here for the Strikers. Cañete pops out. Importante is on John Nermal. Nermal leaves it. Great drop pass to Marquis.
That's what they need to do. Create and give that ball up. 6 points for Marquis. It's tougher to catch up. Even if you're hitting the threes itong Batangas, but every possession, pag nakakascore ang Bacoor, ang hirap habulin.
After a tight race in the first 5 minutes of this ball game, the Bacoor City Strikers have never looked back. However, Levy Hernandez wants to change the narrative of this game by draining a three-pointer here. His first since the opening frame.
9 points for Levy Hernandez. You know this guy is going to launch it even more.
Cañete almost had it stripped away. Ochea gets away with it. A foul called after Don Ochea was already ahead of the pack. A late whistle by our baseline referee.
Alam mo, pupurihin ko sana yung efforts ni Levy Hernandez. Suddenly, tinawagan sa na foul. There you see, catch and shoot shot, Levy Hernandez.
That three-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. 2 3-point shots in the first quarter. That's his first make here after those conversions in the opening 10 minutes. And another boo-boo coming from Levy Hernandez as he steps out of bounds on that sideline.
I thought he was just going to launch it because he had a clear shot at the basket. No challenge whatsoever. Magandang action ngayon, Levy Hernandez and Cañete. Banggaan, intimidating lang each other.
Oh, interesting matchup because that is out of position para kay Levy Hernandez as he matches up with Mike Cañete because King Importante is on John Nermal while Don Ochea is trying to shackle James Quecote. Nermal, step to the side, 3. And another foul is called on an outside attempt by John Nermal. He has been making it look so easy on his side of the floor.
Oo nga, well, even Levy Hernandez is asking for a review because he felt he got all ball. You know, situations like that, percentages go down and you have to play the percentages. That's what I learned about playing defense. Yes, I did make a lot of fouls in my career, no, but I learned as time went on that percentages, if the guy wasn't really taking a shot the way he usually does, percentages go down. Titignan natin kung it was a good foul or not for Levy Hernandez. Couldn't let that shot go.
But John Nermal has been at ease in making those outside shots, whether it be catch and shoot or off the dribble this whole year. A big jump from what has been just a small role for him in that Bacolod City team last year.
I'm happy you pointed that out. Tama ka rin doon. Depende rin siguro sa player. John Nermal, tindi.
Nermal has been averaging 35.6 from the great beyond this year, Coach. Imagine that.
Wow. And he continues to improve.
John Nermal, I've been saying this all season long and I may be sounding like a broken record already, but I'd just like to really emphasize that point that he is the biggest star in this constellation of stars that Bacoor City has. This is such a deep roster with guys like Marquis there, James Quecote, Mike Cañete, all of these guys established Mpbl veterans, except of course for Quecote, who is playing his first year here in the league. But John Nermal, from a role player to your top gun.
Tama ka doon. Alam mo kagandahan dyan, it's tough to match up against him. You put a guy who's shorter, he'll post you up or cut in the basket and get those passes. If you put a shorter guy, he can shoot over them. So it's very tough to put. If you put a big guy, he can penetrate and just leave you standing on your heels. So very versatile, very athletic, very wise player.
And he has displayed a bag of tricks which we've never seen from him before. Kaya naman sobrang nakakatuwa talaga seeing his growth from a player who was one-dimensional to now a three-dimensional scorer. Ito si John Nermal. Right now we're gonna witness the decision on the challenge by Coach Cholo Villanueva on that 3-point shot by John Normal where Levy Hernandez claimed that he got all balls.
Situation natin, Javi, pag medyo hindi successful
But
ang
one
tawag.
the challenge was successful. There was no foul.
Oh,
on Levy
successful there.
Hernandez.
The challenge is successful according to Richard Campos. That was the decision reached by our referees. Let's look at that play in question once again.
Well, hats off. Hats off to Levy Hernandez for encouraging his coach to question that and have the referees check.
How big is that adjustment in the rules right now, Coach, to have a coach's challenge in today's game?
Well, I'm not accustomed to it. I mean, there are a lot of mistakes that our referees do. I think I favor it even more that you're allowed to challenge, lalo na pag crucial.
And here they get the basketball. Batangas City Embassy Chill with a chance to trim this deficit further. Importante, not really his cup of tea. He misses from the outside.
Importante should move without that ball.
Marquis recovers the rock. Heruta telling his teammates that we have so much time still on that 24. Gets the roadblock from Yi. Delivered hand goes under and Aaron Heruta makes him pay.
8 points for Aaron Heruta. Pick your poison, Javi. Anybody holding that ball for Bacoor can score.
Hernandez, Normal was all over that shot. He gets the long tap. 56-35. More than 4 minutes gone by here in this third quarter.
Well, the fact that Bacoor won their series against Zamboanga in 2 games gave them a lot of time to practice their shots here in this court.
And the masterclass continues at the point guard spot. Aaron Heruta running rings around MJ De La Virgen.
Oh, nga, we both got dressed actually with the 2 women, Andrea and Mika. We all got dressed for a magical show tonight here in Bacoor.
Look at that once again. Aaron Heruta earlier able to hit the outside shot as De La Virgen went under the pick. And there on that sequence, snaking his way past the defense, setting up his big man Marquis for that patented hook shot of his. Lead is now 23 para dito sa Bacoor City Strikers. 5 minutes and 43 seconds remaining here in the third frame. Cañete, another offensive rebound for the Strikers. Forced up a bad one was John Ambaluto. Yi, push shot, that finally goes in.
This move of the game is brought to you by Nexus 88 Gaming.
Pilipinas Basketball League, and right now I am with Coach RB Mangahas of the Bacoor City Strikers. Coach, napakaganda po ng simula ninyo. Ano po ba yung sistema na ini-implement o sinusunod nyo for this game?
Yes ma'am, syempre no, yung sa amin pa rin kasi yung trademark ba namin bilang Bacoor, yung defense talaga yung sistema namin. Doon kami kumukuha ng lakas ba sa defense namin. Yung offense, to be followed na lang naman yan.
I know, Coach, that you have a really huge cushion right now, pero ano po ba yung dapat yung bantayan dito sa Batangas team?
Siyempre, yung Batangas, champion din naman yan eh. So, dapat hindi lang kami mag-relax dyan. Capable naman makahabol yan eh. So, dapat kami 0-0 mentality ba? Dapat hindi kami mag-relax. Tapusin namin ang malakas tong second half. Yan lang po.
All right, thank you so much, Coach RB. Back to you, Javi and Coach Davey.
Thank you so much, Andrea. There's one guy who knows about winning championships on this Bacoor City squad. It's that man, RB Mangahas, who was a member of the perennial champions of the UAAP during his time. He was teammates with Arvin Santos on that FU Tamaraw squad.
Wow, what a championship caliber team bringing it here sa Bacoor. Pero maganda, focus talaga nila ay depensa. Itong Bacoor team, and that's the reason why they have this lead against Batangas.
Oh, these are actually 2 teams who really use their defense to fuel their offense. There we witnessed it galing dito kay Don Ochea as he scores on the other side, but it has really been dominated so far as evidenced by the score by the Bacoor City Strikers. And even if Batangas has really been pushing hard on the defensive end, the Strikers have made offense look so easy.
Napakaganda nga, lahat ng pinupukol nila, pumapasok. Pero just as you said that, ito na, medyo nagka-problema na bigla ang scoring woes. But James Quecote, again, stealing that ball for his team.
And Normal getting the go-ahead pass to make the go-ahead basket. 16 now to 37 is the score.
For the first time, Javi, napapansin ko yung frustration sa mukha ng mga players playing right now for Batangas. They never expected this kind of intense play by Bacoor. They're just being dominated on both ends.
James Quecote, another fast break finish for the Bacoor City Strikers. Back-to-back hits just when we thought that the run was imminent here for the Embassy Chill. The Strikers once again retaliating with shots of their own.
Well, yun nga, frustration factor is falling in. Talagang even running back down on defense, bumibigat na ang paa ng Batangas. But this is just the first game. I mean, this is a series. The game ain't over even if Bacoor wins. We still have to play another quarter plus 3 minutes. Do your best, find a way to get this lead back down.
Here, another great feed by one Aaron Heruta to James Quecote, recognizing his wingman on the left side of the floor, really going to the basket and finishing with ease.
At prior to that, si John Normal naman ang tumakbo ng fast break.
All right, now let's check in with Ms. Mika Abisames with a report from the Batangas side.
Bukod sa matinding defense na kailangan gawin ng Batangas against the incredible shooting of Bacoor, Coach Cholo also talked to the boys about their offense. Hence yung key to winning ni Coach JV na bola-bola, extra passes, assists. Pero nakausap ko din si Sed Ablaza, who was one of the offense guy, and he said he's still trying to gain back his confidence. Sa kakaisip daw niya kasi pumasa, nagiging turnover. But he also said, abangan daw natin ang momentum niya. And I would be scared to hear that from a Sed Ablaza. Sana lang very soon because they are down really big. Have you, Coach James?
Thank you so much for that report,
Thank you, Mika.
Well, that's true. Sed Ablaza has shown signs of rust despite the good numbers that he's been putting up. Almost 11 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists per contest in his return. But it's really difficult to come back in the middle of the postseason and expect that your ship will be sailing smooth throughout.
Oo nga, pero maganda nga na-point out nga ni Mika, talagang yung ball possession napakahalaga at wag sana ibigay pa ang bola sa Bacoor. Pero matuloy nga tayo, Javi, dito sa keys of victory of Batangas. Well, ORCR, ito nga have not been working well for them. No offensive rebounding. And they haven't been dominating because of the great boxing out of Bacoor. No second chance opportunities for them. Bola-bola once again. This is basically a plus para sa kanila. Yes, they really haven't turned the ball over much, but they haven't been scoring as well. And that's because of the game right now of Bacoor. And lastly, Million Pesos smile. I don't think that smile's coming out tonight entering the second half. Nakita na natin si Coach Cholo upset with the play of his team. But, miracle shots are being made by Bacoor. Napakahirap talaga to face a team who's just launching those balls from all parts of the floor and connecting.
So 2 X's out of the 3 keys to victory for the Batangas City Embassy Chill as they try to solve the riddle here that is the Bacoor City Strikers. Jemo Egilos continues to extend the advantage here for the Strikers.
Well, they see it very well. Experience lang nakikita mo. Ang defense ng Batangas has extended all the way out, leaving Jemo Aguilo to play one-on-one ball inside. They're not forcing the situation to happen for them on offense. They're just reading what is being given.
Well, now let's talk about the update to the keys to victory for the Bacoor City Strikers. Coach, go ahead.
Well, definitely dito para sa Bacoor plus factor for them. Every possession is valuable and you can see that. And that's the reason why you can't anticipate who's going to score because they move that ball around. Second point natin, seal the cracks, mend the defense. Napakahirap nga pumasok ngayon sa depensa ng Bacoor. Nabanggit nga ni Coach earlier sa interview ni Andrea that yung depensa talaga ang priority ng Bacoor. Checkpoint there for them. Ingat sa abo. Right now, they've stopped Apinan, Valoria, and Octubre from scoring from the outside.
There are a combined 8 points. Octubre has not been able to score yet in this game. And that's another stop for the Bacoor City Strikers. Aside from those keys, Coach, what has been very magical, to say the least, for the Bacoor City Strikers para sa'yo?
Well, you know, they're playing team basketball. They're not forcing things up. They're just looking for opportunities of who's open. But in that situation, great anticipation by Isit for the steal.
Coach Cholo Villanueva opting to go for a two-point guard setup here for his 5 on the floor as CJ Isit and Rudy Lingay now share backcourt duties.
Well, four-court pressure right now being implemented by Batangas, instructed by Coach Cholo. You see him on the sidelines.
Under a minute to play here in the third, Ludovice turns the corner. Chito Jaime on the lift. That shot is long. He gets his own miss. He's wide open. Why do you leave Chito Jaime that wide open? 2 offensive rebounds, all to himself. And finally, on the third serving, he makes it.
Well, alam mo, Javi, I need to correct you. Sorry. 2 offensive rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 basket for Chito Jaime. Great pass to himself.
That's correct. So now, definitely, we could really lament that this performance by the Strikers has been very magical. Everything just falling into the proper places for the Strikers, while it has been the total opposite para dito sa Batangas City Embassy. Chill bodies on the floor trying to dive for that rock. And it looks like all players involved don't want to give an inch.
Well, the game ain't over. We have 1 more quarter left, 12 seconds in this third. And dito mo makikita, Batangas is not gonna give this night easily to Bacoor.
Let's see if Coach Cholo Villanueva can really peruse his boys into not going gently into the good night. There you see Alday. Egilos was also down. Baloria trying to go for it. Isit, Chito Jaime getting into the mix, as well as Ivan Ludovice. 4 gray shirts and 2 white shirts getting into it on that scuffle for the loose ball.
Seeing all these guys, pressure players, superstars of the Mpbl, diving for an old basketball. That's how valuable that ball is.
This is Mpbl playoff basketball at its finest. The score may not be a close situation between these 2 squads, but the intensity has been there para sa parehong koponan. It's just that really the Strikers have been so dominant in both ends.
Alam mo, ang kagandahan ng binanggit mo, Javi, is the score. You know, right now, Batangas should set aside the score and play every possession, play hard, both possession on offense and defense. Why? That will carry you on to the next game, which they will have this Friday, I believe, in Batangas.
And there you go. That's one good play galing sa kanila. That's a positive attribute that they can carry at least also into the final 10 minutes that we're going to have in just a bit. Alday with 1 second on the clock. That's way off. Wouldn't have counted had it went in.
I was gonna eat my mic if that ball went in. Handa na ako eh.
Were you really?
Yes. Pero bago ko kagaling, happy birthday, Mr. Tupas, Sadelf Tupas.
That's correct. A very happy birthday to our big boss, Mr. Sadelf Tupas, who is celebrating his birthday today. And it looks like birthday na rin ng Bacoor City Strikers with the way that they've been shooting the basketball here tonight at the Strike Gym.
Oo nga, babatiin ko din Bishop Rene Elmedo of Wisdom Church. Happy birthday po. Advance happy birthday tomorrow. Here we see this bit of action time and time again running the floor. James Guecote with the finish in that bit of action.
Another dominant showing here in the third frame by the Bacoor City Strikers. We enter our penultimate period with them up by 25 points, 68 to 43.
Well, the fact that Bacoor won their series against Zamboanga in 2 games gave them a lot of time to practice their shots here in this court.
This assist of the game is brought to you by Nexus 88 Gaming.
Napakaganda ng shooting ng Bacoor. You have 10 minutes left, but I've seen you in the situation before which you have succeeded. What else can we do in this fourth quarter?
Well, this fourth quarter, we have to have a near-perfect game. No room for errors. We have to put back our defense. We have to improve our shooting. We're expecting them to shoot better because home court nila yan. So, hopefully, the breaks of the game will come our way this quarter.
You talked about their home court, coach. Did you talk to the boys about tuning out the crowd?
Yeah, syempre yun ang 6-man nila, yung crowd nila. So, what better way to silent them is, again, as I said, it's a near-perfect game this fourth quarter.
Maraming salamat, Coach Dino Ponce Enrile. Have you, Coach James?
Thank you so much, Mika.
Thank you, Mika.
Coach Dino Ponce Enrile saying that a near-perfect game is what they need. Kung ako nga tatanungin, Coach, they need a perfect game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they do, because in the first 3 quarters, sabihin mo na sa first half alone, near perfect na ang laro ng Bacoor. So, kaya pa naman bawiin yun ng Batangas. Even if they play a near perfect game and do not win tonight, still, that's a plus factor for them. Momentum entering this game 2 sa series na ito.
Well, that's the beauty, and also at the same time the challenge of playing in a series like this. You try to look at the bigger picture, but again, it's also hard because in a short series like this, a 3-game series, a game 1 victory is very important. That free throw by Alwin Alday, which he missed, is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
Nabanggit mo nga, nakakalungkot, 3-game series lang ito. De sana, per quarter nito ay 20 minutes, Javi, Isipin mo.
Well, despite the shortage of this series, just like what we're seeing, we're experiencing a dogfight from these two squads. The score might not show it, but the intensity is definitely there. It's just a matter of Batangas just really making the right choices. And in Coach Dino Ponce Enrile's words, if the breaks of the game are able to arrive in their favor.
Napakatindi nga ng mga binitaw na salita ni Coach Dino, assisted by Mika. Near perfect game, something that you always dream of, and that's the reason why you continue to practice every single time to limit those mistakes. But you see, Bacoor is forcing them to make these mistakes, making it a tough time for them to score just like that.
Basketball is all about habit forming, Coach JV. I'm sure you know that, having been a player yourself and now a coach these days. It's not habitual for Batangas to play this way, but because of the impeccable defense that Bacoor has been playing, they've been forcing them, Batangas City, into a lot of mistakes.
Oo nga, pag pinag-aralan ng mga ibang coaches ito, makikita nila, great pass there, 2-man game, Valoria Apinan. Pero pag pinanood mo ito, makikita mo the dominance of the defense of Bacoor, controlling the offense of Batangas, and that's the reason why Batangas has been struggling.
A lead still at 24 points. Such a tough mountain to climb para dito sa Batangas City Embassy Chill, but they're gonna try to do it step by step, possession by possession here. They get a stop. This was the previous basket, raised pocket pass by Jong Valoria.
And this is what they need to capitalize on, playing 2-man game, not unselfish basketball where you have to force things to happen.
There, that's another basket off of the 2-man game. Jong Valoria initiating that and getting it to Rudy Lingana, who was lifting off of that right corner. 69-47. J-Mo Eguilos, one of the 3 players rather, who have joined the Bacoor City Strikers from our previous South Division champion, the Zamboanga Family's Brand Sardines. Of course, the other 2 are Decoy Lopez and Chito Jaime, trying to bring that championship pedigree from the South here to Bacoor, as Jexer Apinan is fighting tooth and nail here at the start of the fourth quarter.
Well, dito nga natin nakikita, pagka broken play na para sa Batangas, nagkakaroon ng beast mode na agad itong mga ibang players ng Batangas. Here we see second chance opportunity, rebound, and a putback.
Dexter Apinan right away on that possession alone, getting a double-double. He now has 12 points and 10 rebounds to his name, and a chance for one more at the line. Our Mpbl VIP is on your screen, led by our beloved Commissioner, Captain Mpbl, Commissioner Kenneth Doremdes, joined by Executive Officer Joe Ramos, Operations Head Emerson Moreta, Marketing Officer Seth Hamora, along with player agent Danny Espiritu.
Tagal-tagal na, buhay pa ano, I mean, not physically, but just his presence in basketball, just an amazing presence. And he's done so much for so many players.
Coach Alex Angeles will burn a timeout. The score 69-50. Back inside the Strike Gym here in Bacoor City, the marching band capital of the Philippines. Once again, our Mpbl VIPs. Commissioner Kenneth Doremdes, together with Joe Ramos, Emerson Oreta. You also saw earlier Security Chief Rudy Distrito. Always in attendance at our games. Very hard-working people of the Mpbl, without whom these events would not be possible. Thank you so much.
Alam mo, I noticed with this lineup that we often show off our commissioner and all the VIPs we have. You know, you'd be surprised na-excite pa sila dito sa MPBL, but their reactions show a lot of just like that.
That's a successful play coming out of the timeout para sa Bacoor City Strikers as James Quecote continues his stellar play here in this game.
Pag dito sa MPBL, imposible hindi ka ma-excite. 3-point field goals, 12 of 34 para sa Bacoor, 7 of 22 naman dito sa Batangas. But it's just one of those things that there's never an unexcited moment dito, and that's why I was mentioning yung lineup nga ng mga VIPs natin, gabi-gabi silang nanonood, yet na-excite pa rin sila sa performance ng mga players natin.
And these are people who have been around basketball for a long period of time, being former players themselves. As we look at that corner pocket three galing dito kay James Quecote, who now has 24 points in this game.
He's been a headache all night for Batangas.
And the shots that he's been taking have almost all been in the flow of the offense.
Oh, he's not actually forcing anything. He's just getting those shots, stepping into them, and making it.
That free throw by Dexter Apinan was brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Apinan missing on the second offensive rebound for Batangas City. Let's see if they can score on the recycle. Hernandez steps into a jumper. Apinan with another offensive board. Dexter really working hard down low. Ambuluto able to clean up the mess.
4 points for Ambuluto, one of the assets that Batangas really has. Itong ability nila to just go relentlessly on the offensive rebounding.
A little backcourt pressure exhibited here by the Embassy Chill to try and delay the offense of the Strikers. Ludovice asks Egilos for the roadblock. Gets it to Nermal. John Nermal, it looked good the moment it left his hands.
I mean, you just need to prevent these two guys from holding the ball, John Nermal and James Quecote. The best way to defend shooters is not have them hold the ball.
Second guy in double figures for the Strikers. Can you believe that? With 12 points, ito si John Nermal.
Levy Hernandez also able to break into the double-digit column with 11 points now. The score is at 75-54, still a 21-point lead to overcome here for the boys of Coach Solo Villanueva.
Trading baskets talaga won't help your cause to come back into this ball game.
And a foul called against Levy Hernandez as he was aggressively trying to pressure ito si John Normal.
Well, I understand the frustration, you know. He's having a difficult time scoring, and at the same time, the Bacoor players he's guarding just shoot over his head.
What's the call going to be here?
You know my take on that, on the foul called on Levy Hernandez. Could have been a let go. Didn't change anything. I mean, Jan Normal didn't lose possession. And the score is just way up there.
So there was a technical foul called on Levy Hernandez for the second infraction of resentment to a call. That's why Kwekotay was at the line for that technical free throw. 76-54. 4 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Peruta trying to lose MJ De La Virgen to the short corner. Egilos overshoots the mark. Clock ticking right now para sa Batangas City. Do they have enough time? Or the better question yet is there a comeback imminent?
Well, we did talk about the turnovers. And Bacoor will really capitalize on the run if they do get that ball from Batangas.
You're mentioning that Batangas relatively has been taking care of the basketball, but the problem is when they do turn over that ball, Bacoor City is always ready to score.
Oo nga, because nga frustrated na tumakbo on defense itong Batangas habang ang Bacoor naman full of energy trying to beat everybody down so that they get the numbers.
16 points on 11 turnovers para dito sa Bacoor City Strikers. Kwekotay, step to the right, three-point shot, no go. Egilos tries to tap it in. Rebound secured by Batangas.
Wow, just the thought of Jamo Egilos trying to put that ball back in. Oh, another lost possession there by Batangas.
And they're just throwing the ball away here. Talking about the white shirts. Kwekotay couldn't get up. Is he cramping up? It looks like he was pointing to his calf. And there you see Jamo Egilos rushing to his side to stretch it out. We hope it's just cramps because he's been playing a heck of a ball game here. 25 points in this game for the former Red Lion.
Aside from running down on defense, harassing the person he's guarding, he takes those high leaping jump shots. But there we see that bit of action where we can catch. I believe it's the right leg. Naputaganan ni Aboluto.
There was already contact before that sequence when Hernandez crashed into him. At napalala pa yata lalo when Aboluto was the one who fell on him. And they now had to carry James Kwekotay all the way to the bench. That's 3 people having to carry the weight of their superstar. But we hope that Kwekotay is okay, and we also hope that we could get an update on his injury. We hope it's just cramps.
I hope it's just cramps. Pero medyo nakangiti siya because he found it kind of funny having 3 guys carrying him to the sideline.
And 3 guys who are actually older than him.
Yes.
His veterans aiding his return to that bench. We're back to the ball game. 78-54. Normal this time against Cedric Ablaza. Hang in the air, kissing it off the glass. 2 points once more for Jan Normal.
Wow, and this replay would be great to watch because Jan Normal got himself airborne, and while he was up there, adjusted his body to get the right angle for the shot. Ito sa replay.
Look at that. The crossover gets the step. And then Ablaza just on his side. And Normal with the adjustment here's the reverse angle. Poetry in motion para dito kay John Nermal.
Hindi binitaw agad until inikot niya to get that favorable percentage of a shot.
Or he really had to square himself up to the basket with that hang time. 3 minutes and 55 the time remaining in this game.
They never expected this kind of intense play by Bacoor. They're just being dominated on both ends.
James Quecote, another fast break finish.
This move of the game is brought to you by Nexus 88 Gaming.
And achieve more with a muscular and sporty scooter from Suzuki, the Avenus. Oras na para magmotor.
Well, there are actually a couple of games left. Sana mapili naman ako maging Suzuki.
So you want to join the half-court contest?
Sana, if I'm allowed, maybe I'd come to one of those games.
But it wouldn't be fair. You're a former player, and I'm sure you've hit the number of half-court shots during your heyday.
But if I am watching, being a part of the crowd, I have to have fair chance to be a part of it. And I promise I'll close one eye.
You'll close one eye. So that's the handicap that you will present
There
yourself
you go.
with.
There you go. That's just being kind.
One eye, I suggest one more. Also having it off one leg. As we look at the production of Ablaza Ambuluto and Jock Baloria combining for just 13 points, these three players.
Oo nga, talagang unprecedented. You never expected these guys to come out, especially on a Game 1 finals for the South.
It's been that kind of ball game para sa kupunan ni Coach Cholo Villanueva. Defense, the Bacoor City Strikers has really shackled the production of the top players of Batangas City. Actually, not just the top players, but the team as a whole.
I wouldn't be surprised if the top players naman of Bacoor would be put on the screen. Aabot siguro ng 40 plus points. Not surprising there because everybody's in double figures.
Well, right now, I'm seeing the top three scorers for the Bacoor City Strikers. Quecote with 25, Nermal has 14, and Marquis with 10 points. So, Quecote and Nermal alone, that's already a combined 39 points. You add 10, that's 49. Galing kay Marquis. So, tama ka nga doon, Coach, in your assumption of 40-plus points for the top producers of the Strikers.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Oh, my mistake. Marquis with already a dozen here in this game after that finish, and another picture-perfect pass galing kay Aaron Heruta. You know, if we had to pick numerous best players in this game, Aaron Heruta would actually be in the running for one of those slots.
Tama ka dun, but the shout-out also, everybody performing and contributing to the defense, that tough defense of Bacoor, and that involves everyone.
And we go back to what Cedric Ablaza said in one of the video interviews that we had here in this game. That whoever plays as a team this whole series will be the one to emerge as the representative of the South in the national championship.
There you go. But coming back from a loss is one of the things that itong Batangas can do with guys like Jong Baloria.
And Batangas City is no pushover of a squad. You know, just the fact that they have made it here into the South Division Finals, and by the way that they performed in the regular season, finishing as the #2 seed sa kanilang division, beating teams like Pampanga. They were the first team to pin the loss on the Giant Lanterns, a team that features our leading MVP candidate and Justin Balti-Baltazar and the Spitfire guard in Enzo Serrano.
Oo nga, pero wag na tayo lumayo. Alam mo, maganda rin ibanggitin. They did beat in 3 games itong Gensan Warriors. And despite not having Jong Baloria there, a stalwart of the team.
And speaking of Jong Baloria, he crashes into Joel Liu as the Batangas City squad. They're not yet stopping from playing here, Coach. As you mentioned earlier, they're trying to carry something into the next game.
They have to show that they will fight no matter what. It's not anymore about the score, the time of how many minutes remaining. It's just a matter of being able to score and not show the opponents that we give up easily.
CJ Isit knocking down his first 3-point shot of the game. That's also an area where Batangas has struggled here, especially in the second, third, and fourth quarters after keeping in step with the Bacoor City Strikers in that first frame in terms of the outside shot.
Tama ka doon, ano. It just wasn't a great offensive night for Batangas. But things like this happen, and going back to Batangas, all you need to do is the birthday boy!
Sedel Tupas in the house. Happy birthday once again to you, boss. Ayan.
Oo nga, sana
Big smile
magpakain.
on his face. Sana nga eh.
Magpakain ka naman, Mr. T. Happy birthday. I believe he's 42 years old.
Grabe naman, na-reveal mo agad yung age. I think he's younger than that. I say 25.
Okay. 45?
I say 25.
25.
Oh.
All right. A lot of candles there on your cake, buddy.
The score is 82-61 now, Coach JB. The outcome has most likely been decided here between these two squads. If you were Coach Cholo Villanueva, what are the adjustments that you would make heading into Game 2?
Well, I'll point out that you shouldn't allow these guys to get their shots off. Kwekute, James Kwekute, Jan Normal. Don't allow them to get their shots off. And we have to continue protecting that ball because time and time again, they would turn that ball over.
Okay, Coach, before you move on to your next point, I would just like to interject on that first point that you made. Don't get the shots off, but from the top players, right?
Right.
But what if guys like Jammer Hamito are also making shots?
Yun na nga, mas maigi na let the guys off the bench score so that the stars who expect to be the leader in scoring for Bacoor do not build their confidence.
And even Jimboy Pastoran, who has not seen action the entire ball game, also joining in on the scoring parade for the Strikers.
Ang maganda dyan, yung stats on YouTube, nandun yung pangalan niya, merong puntos na. Nakakatuwa. That reminds me of my heyday when I'd score 2 points. Yes, may puntos sa pangalan ko.
It's just been that type of night for the home squad, the Bacoor City Strikers, really effectively feeding off their 6-man here inside the venue.
I'll go back to what you were saying. Let the others score, Bakit? Kill the confidence of the stars of Bacoor when it comes to offense, their offense. Why? Because if Batangas does win, they have a third game. You don't want those guys to have the confidence coming in to a third game. And that right now is what the focus of Batangas should be, Game 3.
Just saw big smiles coming from Sir Dennis Abella and Mayor Strike Revilla. But another positive thing that Batangas can look forward to coming into the next game as Joe and Lee Yu, oh my goodness, they're not yet done here. Talking about the Strikers, what a move right there to the basket.
Now,
spectacular play on the fast break.
I need to point out, Bacoor is not relaxing. You know why? Because right now, Coach Alex wants to make sure that he is killing confidence level ng Batangas entering to Game 2. You want them to question if they have the ability to beat Bacoor, and that's what he's doing, continuously putting points in the board.
And just like what we've been talking about, this is a series, so you definitely look at the bigger picture all the time.
I'm sorry, Javi, kasi baka isipin ng mga tao, dapat maawa na ang Bacoor. No, no, no. This is a series. You have to prepare for the next. Even the mental game is important.
And I think this is also just a testament to how much Coach Alex Angeles and his squad respects the Batangas City Embassy Chill of their capability to actually beat them. That's why they're trying to move away from any sort of relaxation in their game, even if the score already dictates the outcome of the game.
Yep. It will carry over. Kumbaga, domino effect yan. And that's why put the doubt in the minds of the players of Batangas so that come Game 2, they'll have second thoughts of thinking that they can win.
CJ Isit able to knock down a three-pointer from straight away to end our ball game. However, the Bacoor City Strikers still end up on top after a dominant, magical even showing here in Game 1 of your South Division Finals. A lot
of great contributors in this match para sa kupunan ni Coach Alex Angeles. But overall, Coach JV, I know that you would also say that this has been a total team effort.
Total team effort on Bacoor. What I'm excited about is game 2. Why? If there's one team that can come back and play the same as Bacoor, it is Batangas. I have confidence in them. This is one setback. It will take 3 games to win. Titingnan natin kung kaya gawin ng Batangas paabutin ng 3 games.
And just like I was saying earlier, I was cut off by that move by Joel Lee with that spectacular drive going to the basket to win the game. One thing that Batangas can look forward to in the next game is that they're going to play at home.
They're going to play at home. They need the firepower of their crowd. They need everybody. That's the best 6-man they have. Their crowd, suportahan sila. Laking bagay yun para sa team ng Batangas.
But talk about firepower, Coach. You just mentioned it. James Quecote won a ball game coming from him. 25 points in this game. He really set the tone. Umpisa pa lamang, he was already knocking down shots.
Yes, and speaking of James, I hope we get an update on how he feels because I'm pretty sure his mom in Canada would like to know what's happening. Very important coming into the next game that he can play the same way. If his injury is severe, hopefully it's enough time given 4 or 5 days to recover para makalaro siya sa game 2.
All right, courtside right now is our best player, James Quecote with Andrea Indicio.
First of all, congratulations. You guys stick to your strength, which is defense. And with this well-dominated win, what have you learned in this ball game?
Well, it was just our team effort overall today. And we stick to the game plan like Coach Alex said in the dugout. And give credit to my teammates. That's all I gotta say.
Now, what do you guys need to do in game 2 to hopefully finish this series?
Again, defense. Always defense. And then offense will come through. So always defense, for sure.
You went down earlier. How are you? And are you okay right now?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just a little cramps, so I'm good. Just recover tomorrow. I'll be fine.
All right, that's good to hear. Do you have any greetings or shout-outs?
Big shout out to my family in Toronto, also in Pampanga. Also, make a shout out to Mama Faye. Happy birthday for Cheeto. Yeah, thank you.
All right, once again, that is James Quecote, our best player of the game. Back to you, Javi and Coach JV.
Thank you so much, Andrea,
Thank
from
you,
averaging
Andrea.
just 12.4 points per game during the season. He has upped the ante here in game 1 with 25 markers. Coach, talk to us about this game. What has Bacoor City done magically?
Well, the shooting was just impressive, but it was more on the defense. Here we see everybody, even the scorers, the stars, quote-unquote, of Bacoor, just played tough defense, and they ran the floor really well every time they got that ball on their defensive end. Here we see a lot of action on the fast break. And despite the outside shots, we even have highlights on fast breaks.
Fast break points 12-2 in this game, Coach. Imagine that a lot of the stats here dominated by the Bacoor City Strikers. 30 points in the paint, 15 second chance points, 21 points off turnovers. And those are just some of the departments that the Strikers have been able to work well for them here in this game. Total team effort for the boys of Coach Alex Angeles. Aaron Heruta was having a point guard masterclass against the floor generals of the Batangas City Embassy Chill. John Normal was his usual self here tonight.
Oo nga, alam mo, ang nakakalungkot lang covering a Bacoor game is really not knowing who to make as the best player because it's a team effort talaga, and you mentioned it several times.
But yeah, well, John Normal was sensational, but James Quecote made sure that he would be as even more sensational as his buddy in the Bacoor City wing position. Game 2 of the Batangas City Embassy Chill and Bacoor City Striker Series will happen at the Batangas City Coliseum, and if there is a need for a Game 3, it will happen here at the Strike Gym. Now let's turn you over to our press room with our winning coach and our best player of the game.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mpbl post-game press conference. And we are joined by Bacoor head coach Alex Angeles and our best player of the game, James Quecote, and also the Bacoor Strikers team owner, Dennis Abella. Coach, any opening statement and your assessment for this game 1? And also, gaano ka-importante na makuha ang game 1 this series?
Una, pasalamat muna ulit kami sa ating Panginoong may kapal kasi kung hindi dahil sa Kanya muli, hindi namin makukuha yung panalo. So, inaalay namin sa Kanya to. Pangalawa, para rin kay Boss Mayor Strike kasi nasa hospital siya, inaalay din namin yung game na to para sa Kanya. Get well soon po, Mayor. And then, dun sa katanungan mo, yung Game 1, alam naman natin kung gaano ka-importante yan, lalo pagdating sa playoffs. So, kumbaga kami, nag-stick lang naman kami dun sa game plan namin, which is yung defense. And then, sabi ko nga kanina sa interview, kung sino ang mainit, dun lang naman kami pupunta. So, yun yung bumubuhay sa team namin. And then, kumbaga, hats off ulit ako sa mga players namin na talaga naman sumusunod dun sa mga game plan, sa system namin. Kaya na-execute namin ng tama. Kaya saludo ako sa mga player namin, pati kila boss at sa lahat-lahat ng Bacoor Strikers.
Sir Dennis, about naman sa laro ng team ninyo, ano yung masasabi mo? And also the support ng crowd. Ito mga Bacooreños po.
Well, syempre, sabi ko nga, lagi kami nagpa-practice, lagi kaming, itong huli, yung huling practice namin yesterday, pumunta pa ako sa kanila at talagang kinausap ko sila na nandito na tayo sa finals ng division. So, ibang set na to. So, lagi namin sinasabi, nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa taong gawa. So, kailangan pa rin yung pure hard work para sa team. At maligaya nga ako at nasa likod natin yung Bacoor fans natin. Inalay naman natin itong laro natin hindi lang sa mga Bacooreño, ngunit sa buong Cavite ang nire-represent ng Bacoor City Strikers.
Yung sa gameplay natin, nung mga kalaban natin ngayon, ano yung nakita natin ng team natin? English. Okay, what are the loopholes that you saw in the other team?
What?
Loopholes in the gameplay.
Well, honestly, they were just giving me the open shot, so I was just taking it, the threes. And also, we had a mismatch for J-Mo down low in the post. Marquis was finding him. So it just came together. We got the dub.
Based on this game, can we sweep? Can we say that we can sweep the division finals on the second game in Batangas?
Well, every game is different, right? So basketball is a game of runs, but hopefully we just play defense again and we'll come out with the win. So defense.
Coach, are we expecting this kind of game